And it was India who received him as a guest, and along with 80,000 Tibetans. Today, Tibetans are living in India, and we are 1,20,000 Tibetans living in India and 30,000 Tibetans living in foreign countries. But most of our population are still there in Tibet, 6 million Tibetans. And it is from this country, India, from where we maintained our religion, our culture, our identity. And in those years, in 1960s, China used to say, what can Dalai Lama and all these handful of Tibetans can do? At that time, what India did was the most crucial thing. India educated. India gave education to younger generation Tibetans. Tibetans like me, who are born on the roadside. You know, my parents were road construction laborers in 1960s and 70s. They were working on the road, and they were building small tents on the roadside, and every day they were working on the road. And we were actually born on the roadside in the small tents. And it was from those places we received education from India. Today, although we are a small community, we have maintained our culture, we have maintained our identity, we have received new modern education, and today we are fighting China. We are challenging China. And China is so afraid today, these days, that although they have the biggest military power and economic power, they are afraid of the Dalai Lama, one man. And all this we made from this country, India. It is this country which gave us the support, which gave us this homeland, a second home. And for a person like me who was born in India, raised here, I don't feel any other difference. Only thing is, I'm born Tibetan, therefore there is a direct responsibility for the struggle. Friends, the occupation, the colonization of Tibet are not so simple like the China occupied Tibet and therefore there is a problem. The colonization of Tibet is what is happening globally today, the globalization, the corporatization of human resource, the corporatization of natural resources. And whoever has more money can make it. Some of my friends earlier, speakers, they talked about corporatization of education. And education has actually become today tools for some of the biggest corporates to gain control over other human beings. And this is actually happening in Tibet today. Besides the military, China is bringing in some of the biggest corporates from all over the world and share the looting of Tibet. They are building the railway tracks so that they can actually extract and exploit natural resources from Tibet. The trend that is happening in Tibet is the trend that is happening all over the Asian countries and African countries. And this is the imperialism that we are fighting today. In India, although we have support from the government of India, the communists in India, they are not supporting the Tibetan struggle. They feel that they have natural ideological affiliation to the communist China. And I want to tell them that the communist China is not really communist, it is only in name. Communist China is the biggest corporate, is the biggest corrupt and corporate government in the world. And there is no point in supporting that. I've spoken many times on this, and Mr. N. Ram, who is the editor of Hindu, some of you must have read the Hindu, and he regularly writes about Tibet. As a writer, I can't respect him today because he is writing things that are written and things that are quoted directly from Chinese propaganda. He is actually a liar. This is the corporatization that is happening all over the world. And this is what we are fighting. As a social activist, as youth of India, and for me, as a future generation of Tibet, we have this responsibility to fight for truth. And for truth, there is no God. Truth in itself is God. Whether it's in Islamic ideology, whether it's in Buddhist ideology, or it's in Hindu ideology, to fight for truth is the common goal for all of us. And it is for that goal, common goal, that we are united. And I think it is because of that common goal that I'm finding solidarity among our Muslim brothers and sisters today. Friends, as an activist, very often, as a basic human being, we all have our sense of insecurity. Supposing if I joined a rally, what will happen? There may be police coming. There may be intelligence people coming behind you. Your mother will say, don't go. You don't need to go home. Or your father might say, if you come late, I will not allow you. Or you might just feel like this is extra expense on you personally. And sometimes you want to join your girlfriend, but you have also some social responsibilities on the other hand. So these are the insecurities that we find generally in our lives. But for social cause, for truth, to fight for that truth, we must sacrifice these personal comforts. Only then can we truly be free from inside. A person who is free from inside, a person who can truly believe and find conviction for the cause he is fighting for,